In this tutorial, let's look at assessments. Blackboard offers a number of ways for you to assess learning outcomes. Let me go to week one assessments to see the choices that we can have. Um, as you can tell, on the top there are several tabs, and assessment is a tab where you can find all sorts of assessments information, including tests, surveys, assignments, etc. The most frequently used ones are tests, which are exams or quizzes, um, surveys you can use as well, and assignment is something you can use to collect student work, such as their papers or projects. Turnitin assignment is also frequently used. This is a way to collect student work and check it against a repository of papers in the Turnitin database or on the internet. Okay, let's look at this one by one. I have already deployed a number of assessments. For instance, assignment one. That is something you can use to collect student papers. To set this up is actually very self-intuitive. You just click on assessment here, click on assignment, for instance, and you'll be guided through the process. It's pretty self-explanatory. You give it a name, give it some instructions, and the points possible. If you have a rubric, you can create a rubric and grade this by rubric. Do you allow them to submit their assignment several times or just one time? Do you have a time constraint for them to abide by? Do you want to track their number of views, etc.? When is it due? Because after the due date, people may not be able to submit, or it will be marked as late. Do you send this assignment to all students individually, or do you want to give this assignments per group by group? Once you have filled this out, just click on submit, and your assignment will be created. I have created one already, so I'm not going to do that again. So this is the assignment. Once you create an assignment here, you will notice that automatically the column will be created in the grade center. This one I have already actually created, and now it is available in this grade center, like assignment 1, for instance. And if somebody has submitted something, you will see a little mark here that asks you to grade it. So now let's go back to content. So I have created this assignment. You students will click on this link, and then they will be able to submit it by either typing their response or copying their response and pasting it here, or they can browse their computer to submit this paper as an attachment to you. You can grade it and you can give them some comments. Okay. Please also remind your students to submit it instead of save as draft, unless it is some work in progress for them. Because unless they submit it, you will not be able to see it. I recommend that you use assignment tool to collect their papers or other kinds of assignments, because this way you keep all the papers in one central place in Blackboard, instead of having to create folders in your email. If you collect these assignments by email, that's going to be a big mess pretty much into the semester, because there can be a lot of students in your class and many types of assignments that you collect. So it is easier to have one central place in Blackboard to collect it. So that's assignment. Another way, as I mentioned, to collect assignments is to use Turnitin assignments. Once again, you click on this assessments button here, and then click on Turnitin assignments. You can choose paper assignments and click on next step to set it up. Give it a title, for instance, paper 2, and the point value like 100. And there are some optional settings. Just a moment, let me click on this optional settings here. You can enter some instructions and allow the submission after the due date and all kinds of parameters which you can set up here. And once you have finished doing that, click on submit. But before I do that, I have to explain what these dates are. Start date is when people can start to submit. Due date is when the cutoff date when students can submit their papers. Post date is when they will be able to see your comments and points. So these dates go one after another. Okay, this is the first date, second date, third date. If you move this date to be something earlier than this, you will not be able to create this assignment. So these 3 dates have to be consecutive. Uh, and let's finish doing this and click on submit. Um, you will notice that you need to scroll up and then click on OK to finish this. And then a link will be created for you called paper 2. Once again, it will create a column in the grade center automatically. So as you grade this paper, the grade will enter into the grade center automatically too. So that is really a good way for you to collect papers and grade papers directly online without having to download it and print it and all that. I actually have a paper submission for this training Turnitin paper. Let me show you how to create it. So I have created this one. Students will click on View and Complete to submit their papers, which is pretty self-explanatory, by the way. Students click on this View and Complete. When they are logged in as students, their names will be populated here automatically, and they just need to type their submission title, and then choose the file from their computer and upload it. That's all there is to it. Um, for you to grade this paper, however, you need to go to um, the control panel and then course tools. Under course tools, you will see Turnitin assignments. That's where you'll be able to find these papers that have been submitted. So under training, for instance, I have 2 papers that I have collected already. John Public has submitted a paper um, uh, called urbanization. There is a 8% matching with some other sources, so that should trigger some alert for me. And there is a grade here, and that's the file I can download. But when I come here, I have graded already, and I have figured out what's going on with this 8%. But let's just get into the paper by clicking on the name of the title, and this will load the document viewer. There are 3 tabs here called Originality, Grade Mark, and Peer Mark. Originality shows you when there is a matching with some other sources. Let me show you. For instance, this paper has a matching with the paper submitted to Sogan, some university by this name. I can just actually send a request to this university and ask them to send that paper back to me so that I can match and check what's going on. Actually, I did this and found out that this author from this university actually cited from a paper that I wrote, which I submitted later on to turn it in. Um, so that actually tells you where there's a matching between the student paper and the paper that somebody else has submitted to the repository, or you can match your student's paper with sources on the internet. It really is a powerful tool for you to check whether there's a possibility of plagiarism. So this is one of the things that the Turnitin assignments do, check originality. Another thing that it does is for you to grade on it directly. You can click on grade mark, and that will allow you to grade it. You will notice that I already have lots of um, marks here already. For this sentence, it's fragmentized. Some of these mistakes are populated here automatically for me using some kind of writing standards that Turnitin use. Turnitin can check for some simple errors like spelling errors or fragmentized sentences. But you can also add a comment yourself anytime by clicking anywhere in the document. For instance, I can click on this end of this this paragraph, and then I can leave a comment here anywhere. Here there's a comment for just a moment. It's probably asking me to do something about it. I have to cancel it. I have already added some comments here. I can drag this comment to another place, or I can edit this comment anytime. So this is a really handy tool for you. Once you finish grading this paper, you can give a grade here. You can also even, let me tell you some really neat feature of this Turnitin assignment. Um, there is a comment button here. If you click on here to leave a general comment about this paper, you can even record it, your comment without having to type everything. So I found this to be very useful, so make sure you use it. So that's for Turnitin assignments. Now let's go back to our course. I'm going to show you a little bit about testing, which of course I cannot cover within this tutorial. You really need to come to us to help you to convert your paper test to your online test. But I want to let you know what the possibilities are. You can create your test here directly from, if you want to create from the scratch, click by clicking assessments, and then you can click on test. You can create a test from the beginning. Okay, for instance, quiz 10. Okay, you can give it a description, give it some instructions, and you submit it. Once you once you have finished doing that, you will be given a test canvas, and that allows you to create these questions in a number of formats. You can create, essay questions, fill in blank questions, multiple choice questions. These are listed alphabetically. Multiple choice questions, or ordering, short answers, true and false, all sorts of questions you can create. If you have a test or a quiz already somewhere in your computer in the Word format, we have a software called Respondus that you can use to convert the paper-based test into a Blackboard test, and we will be happy to show you how to do that. But let's go back to this course and go back to that module with the assessments in it. It sometimes takes a while to load, depending on what kind of internet speed you have. So let me go back to this week. So I have this test already created. It's a matching test, matching the state with the capitals in the Southwest region. You will notice that I have something called Require Respondus Lockdown Browser here. Respondus Lockdown Browser is like a Safari, Internet Explorer, and Firefox is a web browser. The unique thing about this browser is when students are using this web browser, they will be locked to the test they are taking. They cannot go anywhere to search for answers, including their notes that they save somewhere on their computer or somewhere on the internet. So it's really a very popular tool that many faculty members here use to maximize the security of their test. If you have created this test already yourself or with our help, we can deploy Respondus Lockdown Browser so that students can take this test in a very secure environment. To enable Lockdown Browser, all you need to do is to go to Course Tools, and then Respondus Lockdown Browser. It will list all the tests that are already deployed in your exam, and then it will show you which ones require Lockdown Browser. Some may not have required it there in the beginning, but you can edit it. For instance, like this one, you can modify the settings here to click on Require Respondus Lockdown Browser for this exam. You can also set passwords for this so that students will not be able to jump ahead of time to take this test. They have to wait for you to give them the password so that they can enter the test. So password to access the exam, for instance, is land. You can also set a student will use this password to be able to start taking this test. There's also an exit password. What that does is if students are locked in their computer. For instance, if their computer got stuck with a technical error, um, the internet problem, for instance, if their computer are completely stuck, they cannot go anywhere, they cannot go back, go forward. You can use this exit password to log them out of the lockdown browser environment. Otherwise, they cannot do anything. The computer is just frozen. But use this very carefully because you do not want to give this to students unless there is a need for it. Otherwise, they may abuse the privilege. Um, so once you have set this access password, uh, this entry password and exit password, your exam will um, require lockdown browser. They cannot just use Safari or Firefox. They have to use lockdown browser to be able to take this test. You do not have to remember everything that I'm saying here because it is actually the resources here are all available on our website, North Institute for Teaching and Learning website. Our website is ni.oc.edu, and under apps, you will notice we have lockdown browser, and there are lots of instructions here for you as well as for the students.